Are the Red Sox Big Three becoming the Red Sox Fab Four? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. Happy 4th of July to everyone who celebrates. I hope you guys have a great time today. For the Red Sox, right now they are in possession of one of the hottest prospects in the entire country. And no, it's not one of the Red Sox Big Three names, although those guys are absolutely killing it as well. The name we're talking about is Kristian Campbell. And if you're not familiar with Kristian Campbell yet, it might be time for you to get familiar. So what we are going to do in today's videos, we're going to get familiar with him. We're going to break him down, why he may be the hottest prospect in the entire country, and what this means for the Boston Red Sox. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. For those of you who may not know all that much about who Kristian Campbell is and how he got to the Red Sox, Campbell was drafted as a 21-year-old prospect coming out of Tennessee, currently playing second base and center field for Georgia Tech. He was actually selected in the 4th round as the compensation draft pick for losing Xander Bogaerts in the 2023 draft, which means that we actually already got a first impression from Kristian Campbell, because last year he played his first few games at the professional level, and I would say it was a pretty good first impression. He played about 22 games between both the Complex League and High A baseball, and during those 22 games, he slashed .309 with a .440 on base percentage and a .471 slug, which was good for a 152 WRC plus, about 52% better than the average hitter in those leagues. Again, I would say in terms of first impressions, that's a pretty good one to make. However, this isn't what we're talking about today, because coming into 2024, Kristian Campbell has taken his game to an entirely different level. Now, to begin the 2024 season, he started back in High A baseball, where he immediately started tearing the cover off of the baseball. In 40 games, he had a .306 average with a .418 on base percentage, but the big news here was that his slug jumped all the way up to .558, which was good for a 167 WRC plus, about 67% better than the average hitter in High A baseball. He also showed a lot more power than he did in 23, crushing 8 home runs during his time there and 13 doubles. There was really only one gripe people had with Kristian Campbell's game coming into the 2024 season, and that was his strikeout rate. He was striking out a pretty decent amount in High A baseball in 2024. In fact, it was to the tune of a 26.6 strikeout rate. There was some concern among scouts and amongst people in the organization that Kristian Campbell may not be able to yet hit higher level pitching, that there was going to be some contact issues as he made his way up through the minor leagues. However, the Red Sox overall felt as though he was ready for the next challenge and promoted him up to Double-A, and I gotta say, this has worked out so far fantastically, because Kristian Campbell has taken his game to an entirely different level in Double-A. So far in 25 games, he has a video game slash line of a .413 average, a .509 on base percentage, meaning he's quite literally getting on base right now more times than he's getting out, and he has a .652 slug, which is good for a .224 WRC plus. In his first showing at the Double-A level, he has been 124% better than the average hitter. What is also really impressive is that he's continued with that power stroke, crushing 4 home runs in 25 games and 8 doubles, and he's making more contact than ever before. He has managed to slash his strikeout rate down to 19.1%. That's a decrease in strikeouts of over 7%. The reason this is so impressive is not only the video game slash line, but normally the biggest jump prospects make is that jump to Double-A. Obviously, outside of making that jump to Major League Baseball, which forever will be the biggest jump a prospect has to make, but in terms of getting themselves through the minor league system, the jump from Low A or High A to Double-A is usually the biggest. The highest competition they are most likely going to face is at that Double-A level, and the fact that Kristian Campbell has been able to come in here and be better than he was in High A and strike out less than he did in High A in Double-A is really indicative of the player that Kristian Campbell could possibly be. And with this start to the 2024 season, people are starting to take notice. In fact, he's starting to pop up on MLB Top 100 rankings lists. Baseball America just the other day gave us an updated ranking of where they put every Major League Top 100 prospect, and for the Red Sox, they had 4 players on that list. The big 3 all managed to get in the top 30 in Major League Baseball, with Marcelo Meyer leading the charge at number 10, Roman Anthony right behind him at number 17, and Kyle Teal sitting at number 27, which are jumps for all 3 of those guys. But the thing we're pointing out in today's video is that the 4th player mentioned on this top 100 list is one Kristian Campbell, who is currently, according to Baseball America, the 89th best prospect in the entire sport. It's very clear right now that over the course of the 2024 season, Kristian Campbell has sort of made himself a can't-miss prospect in the Red Sox system statistically, but let's talk about what this means for Campbell and his route to Major League Baseball, and let's talk about what this means for the Boston Red Sox. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Just helps these videos out a ton, and it's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content we are putting out. Thank you all very much for taking a second and doing so, especially on a holiday like the 4th of July. Let's get into answering some of these questions. Obviously, from Kristian Campbell's point of view, there's no real downside to being one of the hottest prospects in the entire country, right? He's having a grand old time, and obviously, that's got to feel really good. The hard work that he clearly has put in this offseason to really improve all facets of his game is really paying off. Campbell was an extremely underrated prospect, not really talked about when he was drafted in 2023. I think the big thing that was attached to him was this was the guy the Red Sox got for losing Xander Bogaerts. No one really knew what he was going to look like in professional baseball. There were questions as to what he would do. Now he's sort of silencing those questions really quickly. Between what he did in 2023 and what he's doing in 2024, Campbell's become a force to be reckoned with in this Red Sox farm system. Now, what I'm really interested in is what this does to his timeline. Right now, Sox Prospects has his timeline of coming up in early 2026, but this is a bit of a different prospect. He's not an 18-year-old high school kid who really needs to develop all facets of his game to get to Major League Baseball. This is a guy who's 22 years old, who has experience playing in a big college setting, playing college-level players, right? This is a guy who has a bit more experience than an 18-year-old coming out of high school. I'm curious if the Red Sox are a bit more aggressive with Kristian Campbell's development than they would be, say, a Marcelo Meyer who came into this organization at 18 years old. If Kristian Campbell keeps hitting the way he's hitting and playing the way he's playing, I think there's a good chance that timeline moves up quite a bit. In fact, if he keeps hitting like this, I could see the Red Sox really pushing him up to AAA pretty quickly here and getting towards Major League Baseball by the time we get to 2025. Now, I'm not saying we see him at any point in 24. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I do think, especially with what he's been doing at the plate and the ability he's showing at the plate, there is a possibility we do see him in 2025 pushing his timeline up basically an entire year, which would be extremely impressive for Kristian Campbell. So that is absolutely something to keep your eye on here in terms of his development. As for the Red Sox, this is obviously fantastic news. Again, there's really no downside to having one of the hottest prospects in the country be in your system. But I think the big point of this is what it gives the Red Sox is options. It gives the Red Sox options when they're looking at the future trajectory of this Red Sox team, right? It was always sort of decided that the big 3 were going to stay in this organization and play out at the Major League level. But if you were going to make a big move, there was a possibility that one of those 3 guys was going to have to be in there. With the emergence of Kristian Campbell, you now have a bit more options. If Kristian Campbell continues to hit like this and really does become a top 100 prospect in basically every list imaginable, which I do think is entirely possible, the Red Sox now have the ability to say, okay, we're not trading one of our top 3, but maybe we could capitalize on the hottest prospect in the sport to get ourselves something really great at the Major League level. They could also sit there and say, wait a second, this guy's on a absolute lightning path towards Major League Baseball. If he's up here at the same time that Marcelo Meyer, Kyle Teel, and Roman Anthony are, we could really create a force in the middle of this lineup. That's also a possibility. Those are two options the Red Sox did not have before Kristian Campbell took off. I think the big thing here, and the reason I said we talk about it in a second, is whether or not the Red Sox believe that Kristian Campbell is the real deal, and this is something that he can continue to do over the course of his time in minor league baseball, or if this is a bit of a flash in the pan. Is this something that will eventually level out at some point and he'll go back down to an above average hitter, but nothing super crazy? If that's what they believe, this is the time to capitalize on it. You're getting towards the MLB deadline. Kristian Campbell is headlining a lot of major publications when they talk about prospects in the sport. This would be a great time for them to capitalize on him and get something really impressive at the major league level. Either way, regardless of what the future holds for Kristian Campbell, whether it's in a Red Sox uniform or not in a Red Sox uniform, what he's been doing this year is extremely impressive. On a team that is loaded with the top talent in the Red Sox farm system, Kristian Campbell stands alone as the most productive player on that team, and that, to me, that's extremely impressive. He's become one of the must-know names in the Red Sox farm system over the last year or so, depending on what time you're looking at. Either way, what Kristian Campbell is doing is absolutely fantastic, and again, it gives the Red Sox a whole lot of options and puts them in a really interesting situation that I think a lot of teams would kill to have. But that's just my opinion, so let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about Kristian Campbell? Do you think he's the real deal? Do you think this is a hot streak? And what do you think the future holds with Kristian Campbell and the Boston Red Sox? Let me know all your thoughts on the Red Sox and the nation's hottest prospect in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Sox almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Again, it helps these videos out a ton. It's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content we are putting out. Don't forget, you can always get these episodes available in podcast form if you want to listen on the go, lounging by the pool, eating some hot dogs today. The best way to do that is click the links in my description to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. A very happy 4th of July for my friends in America, and I will see you in the Red Seats.